Hey, my friends, welcome back to the Breaking 1000 podcast. I'm Mark Brewer. I got Scott Wilson.
Scott, it's my name.
Thank you. Hunter Wilson?
Yeah, Hunter. Yes.
Okay, thank you guys for being here. Hey, we are looking forward to this one today. We're talking about the honesty policy and how we honestly communicate, but we got a question from one of the pastors that we're working with. And they said, we're continuing to grow and sometimes getting this, oftentimes getting this, why are we having this speaker? Why are we doing this event? Why are we having this special service? And I do think that sometimes the why is they just want information, but I'm also
That's what the pastor's saying?
Yeah, but I'm also picking up that maybe there might be a heart issue here. So how do I as a lead pastor communicate clearly and kindly when asked why?
Interesting. So basically what they're saying is that they're feeling like maybe there's an attitude behind.
Possibly.
There could be.
I think they're trying to navigate through that because there's a lot of whys coming up on all of these things that the pastor's casting
because
vision.
Here's the deal. I have no problem with questions. Ask me questions. Ask me any question because it's going to help me. Maybe I didn't even think about that or maybe, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that part or whatever. What I do have a problem with is a questioning attitude or a questioning spirit. That's totally different.
Yeah.
Now you're coming into a realm of questioning me, or I don't trust you, or I feel like you have bad motives, or I feel like there's something.
Those whys are like, yeah, I know you're doing this, but what's like the deeper meaning behind this?
Why are you?
Yeah.
That's a problem. And so I think on this one that the pastor is asking, this is how I would think about it. I think there's two different things I would do. One is public and one is private. Okay, so publicly, I always want to know.
Even if they're asking why in public in a meeting?
Well, that's what I think they're saying. They're asking that way.
In some type of group setting, so board meeting, staff
we're in staff meeting, we're going through
staff.
Say, hey, can I just ask a question? Why are we doing this? That's how I'm thinking the question is, why are we doing that? You know, like this. And I wouldn't confront the person at that point publicly. Publicly, what I'd go, great question. If I didn't hit that, let me hit it. And the why is always the same in the sense of more mature and multiplying of disciples. Okay, so like we're doing this because we want to reach more people, or we're doing this because we want to grow people, or we're doing this because we want to develop more people. Whatever it is, that's the why on whatever we're doing. If that isn't the why, then that was a good question. Like maybe I do need it. Why are we doing this? Okay, but the point is this: as a leader, I always want to publicly communicate why. Why is the vision question. It is the fuel and the purpose behind it. People need to know why, because that's the motivation of what's going on.
So you're not saying, what I think I hear you saying is just not just because I said, or because I'm the lead pastor, you're constantly communicating the vision, the mission in front of people. That's the why.
If I have to pull the card of because I said so, that's kind of a low leadership move there. That means I'm leading positionally, not with vision and not with influence. And so what I want to do is always communicate, hey, here's what we're doing, here's how we're going to do it, here's when we're going to do it, and here's why. Man, we're going to do this because of this. I'm not always trying to just lean on people are smart enough to figure out the why. No, you've got to communicate that. Hey, we have got to reach more people. That's why we're doing this new service. We've got to develop leaders. That's why we're going to start this program or process. Okay. So you got to lead with why. So if somebody's asking why, because I'm not doing well as a leader, communicating the why, good question. And really, I need to up my game to proactively be communicating why. And it should never be that people have to ask.
That's so good. So that you're allowing that to be a possibility on the front end.
Correct.
That maybe you haven't communicated as clearly or as profoundly as you needed to.
Well, I think one of the ways that really helps with this is a lot of lead pastors, when they are delegating things or saying we're going to do something, they cascade the decision. They don't cascade the vision. So basically they cascade the decision. Here's the new thing that we're going to do. And we're doing it starting next week. And they just want people to get on board because I have a lot of things we got to do and I just got to get this through and don't ask me any questions about this. We're just doing it. Trust me.
Just trust me.
And inside of this, I think what happens is if you don't cascade the vision, you're going to hit it on the backside.
Yes.
You're going to have to answer those questions on the backside because it's really hard for people that really care about the vision. And there are a lot of things that you've already told them that they have to do of like, can we do everything that comes to mind?
So let's consider that on the front end is what I think I'm hearing you say. Let me consider, they had a question. Let me consider, is there something that I might have missed or not done? I didn't follow my process.
I was going to say too, something that you do a really good job of, especially now we do this a lot, is I think what happens is you didn't lead the meetings, and we talked about meetings before, is that you had somebody prepare the meeting. And when people start doing this, it's like, and Pastor, can you go ahead and tell them about that new service we're adding or blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. So, all right, guys, so this cool thing, and they're like shooting from the hip, right? And of course, they're not being thorough in the vision casting when they're shooting from the hip. And what I think you do a great job at, and what is an expectation of our team, is part of cascading the vision is doing a write-up beforehand. Does that make sense? And inside of this write-up, you are not only writing what is the target of what we're aiming for, what is the problem we're trying to solve, what is the path we're going to take to get there, when are we going to do this, all of the things that it takes to do this. You're clarifying your own thinking before you ever come into the room, so that you not only are presenting a clear why behind the vision, you're also giving something people to hold on to.
Most of the time we send that out to everybody before the meeting.
Right.
So that's a great way to do that and to help, because now you're taking the time to answer all the questions, beforehand, letting them come with, if they have a question, it's from that, and it shouldn't be why if I've answered it. Okay.
So the information is there, but then there's another
now
component.
There's an attitude. If there's an attitude. So first of all, I don't try to confront. The first time somebody is playing a little attitude in the room, or that I'm picking up on that, I'm giving them benefit of the doubt. I don't want to be judging their motive or what's going on in that time until it's kind of become a pattern. So what I'll do is I'll go, thank you for asking that question. Thank you. Obviously, I haven't clarified this enough. Let me share that, and I'll do it. So I'll thank them, even if I think there's an attitude. I'll play off of it as, man, I appreciate that. Boom, and hit it. Okay. So I'll give them benefit of the doubt. But the private move is, if I felt even it on the first time funky about it, or like this felt a little weird, then I'm going to go to them and say, hey, can we talk a minute? Are we okay? Is there something going on? Did you ask why? And maybe I didn't answer it. Was there something to that? And they'll go, oh, no, I just needed to know why, or whatever. If I feel like I need to dig it a little bit more, then I'll go, it felt like there was more to it than just why. It was almost like, I don't know that we should be, or I don't know if I like that, or I don't know. Talk to me if there's more to the why than just why. Well, okay. Well, then they'll say this. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. And let me just, and so we do that.
How would you embed that? Because I know that a lot of times you usually use the phrase honesty policy, and you could refresh people what that means. But you would usually say like, hey, I'm just going to do, we do honesty policy around here. Go ahead. Yeah, say that.
Yeah. So let's say this. Let's say, because I did that one as kind of a soft intro. I'm not even, I'm more of doing a clarification, not a confrontation type deal. I'm more like going, hey, was there something I missed there? Or was there something I'm not catching?
Which is basically, the clarification is you leading, not with assumptions, but asking questions.
I'm not coming with an accusation. Hey, you had a terrible attitude in that meeting, and I did not appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly.
Why are you laughing?
I'm just laughing. No, I'm just saying, you're assuming that they are on the team and they want to go forward with the vision, and there was just something that glitched in the moment. Yeah.
And I'm going, I don't want to have anything between us. There's just something I'm missing. Did I say something wrong? Did I do something? Because it just felt funny.
Yep.
Okay. What?
Well, I don't know. Even when you're saying that, I know that's how you operate. But that is it's just a really mature way to assume. You're assuming that
the best.
How about if it may be a maturity, or it may be a decision? It's a leadership decision I've made to function that way, because I don't know that I really am feeling that.
Okay.
I'm really giving them a benefit of the doubt as a principle.
Good. I like that.
I'm going to treat you how I want you to treat me. Because actually, guess what I'm feeling? They're not giving me the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
And I want them to, if you're going to feel like there's something going on that you don't like, you're going to give me the benefit of the doubt that my heart's right. I'm praying, I'm seeking God, I'm doing everything I can. And you're going to.
Which is what you're doing is a two-way street.
Yes.
You wish they would come up to you privately and be like, I must have just like misheard this, or maybe I just, missed it. But can you tell me like why like this? Because I know that you have a heart to always reach the lost, to always,
Yeah.
So good.
So I'm practicing to them how I want them to function with me. I don't want them to go, can I just ask why we're doing this?
You're executing on the golden rule.
Yeah.
You're doing it by decision. It's intuitive to you now, but you made decisions along the way that this is how I'm going to operate around the honesty policy.
Let me ask you this. So like if there's people that are asking why, and it's like, my fault. I should have done that. I should have prepared more. Maybe I did a write-up. And there's people with the questioning spirit. You talk to them, not questioning spirit, questioning attitude inside of this.
Yeah.
And you come up to them and say, hey, I just want to talk to you. We have an honesty policy type thing. And you're asking questions for clarification. Inside of this, do you operate in a mode where team members can't have a different opinion than you? Like they don't think that we should do this? Like how would you do it of like, is there a world where we can function on the same team together and I work for you and I'm basically saying to myself, I probably didn't handle that well, but I don't think we should do this.
Yeah. I want everyone, we kind of play off of it this way. It's like, I want current events, not history lessons. Mm-hmm. I don't want you going, I knew this wasn't going to work, or I knew I could have told you that.
Yep.
No, you should have told me that. Mm-hmm. Do ask me if you think we shouldn't be doing something. I want it. But do it as sharing your perspective, not telling me I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. You don't have to come to me with an attitude in order for me to hear it. In fact, I can tell you right now, I'm one of the most sensitive-hearted leaders on this team, and most teams I'm on, that you can whisper and it echoes in my soul is the way I say it. I go, if you don't have to talk loud for me to hear it. I can hear it when you're telling me, I don't know that I agree with what you're doing, but can I just share my perspective and can we talk about it?
Because all you're doing in sharing perspective is what you're sensing and seeing. It's valid.
Yes.
But it may not be accurate because you have limited perspective.
But it's valid because it's how you're feeling and how you're seeing it. I want to hear it because I care about you. Share it with me. Now, if I hear you and I say, that's not the way I want to go, then I'm asking you to trust me and say, I'm going to follow you because God's called you as the lead pastor to be responsible, and you're going to answer to God on what we do. You as a staff member is going to answer to God on how you responded and functioned with what I'm doing.
So do you abide by the principle that are on leadership teams, and you hear it in like self-help books and business books, basically like the abiding principle of I can disagree but commit? Like I disagree, but I will commit and do everything I can to make this successful.
Yes. The disagree becomes a little stronger to me. I think it can be more like, if I was a lead pastor, I'm not sure that's how I would do it.
Right.
That I could see that and say, but I'm going to do it because you're the lead pastor and you're the one who's going to have to take the hit, or you're having to lead, you're having to see it. Your perspective is bigger than mine from my seat. And I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, and I'm following you. And I also trust that if this isn't what should happen, you're going to make a change. You'll turn. You don't just commit and prideful. You're not arrogant. So I can follow a leader like that. Okay. So as long as we have that, then I'm cool with it. What I think is a problem is when people start thinking they know more than me, or acting in such a way like I'm wrong, they're right, and there's only one way to do it. It's their way. That's a problem. I can't function that way. So what I would do as a lead pastor is what we were talking about a while ago on honesty policy. Honesty policy is a policy we actually have written out, and as a staff and as a board, we sign once a year in a meeting, like at the beginning of the year, and it says this: I will speak the truth in love to the last 10%, to the right person at the right time in the right way. We have zero tolerance for gossip. And then everybody, I am the first one who signs it and says, I will conduct myself with everybody on this team with an honesty policy. I'm not going to go talking to everybody else about you. If I have a problem or a feeling or an issue with you, or a concern or funny with you, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to deal with it at the right time in the right way. And it'll even be to the last 10%. The last 10% is the toughest part to talk about, but it's the part that's going to make the difference.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we sign that, that means it's two-way street on that too. Is that it's okay. I'm signing that it's okay for you to have honesty policy with me.
Yep.
In the same way, you're signing that it's okay for me to have honesty policy with you. And now it becomes a cultural part of our language, our cultural language, that if I say, hey, I just felt funny in that meeting just now, I need to kind of invoke the honesty policy for a moment. And the fact like this, I only kind of do the honesty policy saying that if I feel like it's ramped up some saying it. Otherwise, I'll just go, hey, was something funny in that meeting? Yeah, like that.
So you're not gonna tee it up with, hey, Bob, I need to have an honesty policy conversation with you.
Head coach throwing the
red flag.
Yeah.
Okay, what are a couple of things?
I'd rather it be relational. Like, hey, can I just clarify? When it becomes, because watch this. If I had, hey, was everything? Oh yeah, we're cool. I just missed it on the wire, or whatever. Oh, okay, cool, great, good. I just know you can always talk to me. Yeah, cool. Next meeting,
Same
thing. Can I just say, I don't understand why we're doing this, and they do it, and it comes across that way again. Now I'm gonna say, hey, can we talk again? Hey, we talked. It felt like. So either you're having a communication issue or I'm having that the way you say it and act on it feels funny to me, or there really is something here. So I'm kind of doing an honesty policy here. Number one, don't ask why anymore. Like in a meeting, come ask me privately. Because it's not feeling good to me in the room the way it is.
Because you've had that situation. I can think of a number of situations, but been in a meeting or a board meeting when there was a personality that keeps going, like why?
They saw their role as being the person,
the devil's advocate.
Well, they didn't just see it, they expressed.
They said, I'm the devil's advocate. And I think we've talked about that in a podcast, I think, here on it. And the point is I told them the devil doesn't need a friend. Just know I already want to do it right. Give me the benefit of the doubt and let's talk about it. So if it is that way that it becomes an honesty policy, I'll say, hey, we need to have an honesty policy because I am not feeling good about this and what's going on.
Yeah.
And then they'll say, well, then a lot of times at that point they'll go, well, I do have an issue, blah, blah, blah. It has nothing to do with this. And so I'm just frustrated with how the speed we're going or how it is or what you do. Or I wouldn't do it that way, whatever. I said, okay, come talk to me privately if you need to ask something. But this is now two different things. It's been why I think we're going to need to get this resolved here and what it is. Talk to me about what you're really needing to say to me to the last 10%. Okay. Because I need to hear it. And then what that point is we come to an agreement at that moment where they'll say their deal. I'll say my part. And then unless I have a sin issue, leadership issue, that's like a pride or whatever, unless I'm out of line, that's going to come into agreement to what I'm saying as the lead pastor. And we agree on that. And now we move forward on that. And if we can't, then that's a grace lifting issue of, hey, you got an assignment. There's grace. When the grace lifts, you go somewhere. You aren't fitting here anymore. And that's coming up. And we're going to start talking about that. And so that's how that needs to go on that. But that's private. And I'm even wanting them to know, hey, come talk to me private on if you have something that's like that. And let's talk it out,
It's really good.
Makes sense?
Yeah, I love it. What about any closing thoughts on this? So again, we teed this up with why? There's a public approach. There's a private approach. Anything else you'd like to say to just land the plane on this?
I don't want to pay people to have a bad attitude. I can get it for free.
Yeah.
So I can get people in the church have a bad attitude. People have a bad attitude. You got bad attitude all over the place. I don't want anybody on my staff having a bad attitude or questioning my motive, my heart, life's too short to live that way. I don't want it. It's poison in the team. It's a problem. It's going to spread if you don't deal with it. So here's the thing I would say as a takeaway action step here. Lead pastor, if you're listening to this, or even departmental head, if you have people working with you, if there's anybody that's even slightly irritating you right now, they're frustrating you because you have an expectation they should be with you, understanding this at this level, acting at this level, conducting themselves at this way, and they're not. And when they're not, that's when you're frustrated. And so there needs to be a clarifying conversation at least. You start with, maybe I'm not saying the why enough or whatever. Hey, my bad. What can I do? Is there something deeper here? Once you have that settled, if it happens again, okay, I'm trying to see, I think I've been clear on this. I'm going to give you one more bit of the doubt here, but tell me, what are we missing here? Because if it's still going. The third time, I've been clear.
Yep.
I'm telling you this is how it is. You're not coming to agreement with it. This is not going to continue. Okay. So we need to you either need to get to move away, or you need to come in, like this.
Sure.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So if you're a lead pastor listening to this right now, and there's someone who is frustrating you, even if it's a little, some of you right now are going, it hadn't gotten to that point yet. I'm not, it's just, they're a little irritating right now. It's not to that. Listen, you deal with it at a little irritating so it doesn't become a big irritating. And one of the things is if you say it's not a big rock, it's a pebble. Well, a pebble in your shoe will put a hole in your foot after a while if you keep it there and you don't deal with it, and it'll get infected and it'll affect your whole body. I mean, it's an issue.
Yep.
It can still kill you.
Yep.
And so you've got to deal with honesty policies. You deal with it right when it's coming up, not when it gets so big it's coming out in meetings. Why?
Yeah. Love it. Love it. All right. Thank you for joining us today, man. This is really good. If you have a question or you have a topic that you say, man, I really wish they would talk about this, just shoot us an email at hey@readysetgrow.church. And we look forward to talking about that on a future podcast. Thank you guys. Today was awesome. And we will see you next time on the Breaking 1000 podcast.